Hey guys, I have a story to tell. You probably won't believe me, and frankly, I'm done trying to convince people. It was about 3 weeks ago. I was on Google looking for some funny sites to look at. I found my way on an image board. Everyone on the board spoke in extremely cryptic nonsense. They said like, hail, hail, I saw them tonight. Holding hand, we are up and high. 999-24028. The king, come down. That was one phrase that was used repeatedly. The king, come down. At first I thought it was spam because of the numbers that preceded it, but it's used way too frequently and erratic to be spam. These would be typos, and the numbers didn't appear to be random. I decided, fuck it, I'll see what's going on with this site. I posted in what I appear to be a random board. Much like B, there was no discernible theme amongst the image and photos. I said, hello, I'm new, and was looking to start a funny thread. Asked them to post the funniest pictures. That was the first time it started. I remember the first reply very clearly. It said, good to see you joining to help the help. From there, it got strange. I was told to ignore the graphs. I assumed this was some sort of in-joke from there. They began to speak like crazy people, posting seemingly random numbers and letters, characters from many languages. A few seemed Russian and Middle Eastern, as well as possibly Chinese and Korean characters. I had no idea what was going on. Then I saw the phrase again. Numbers followed by the king come down. Following that, my power cut off. Completely blackout. It freaked me out. I checked the fuses and the switches had just flipped. Flicking them back on, the power went back on. When I returned to my PC, there was an image on the screen of a young boy. He was Caucasian, no older than 10. I sat down, creeped out, but feeling curious. The boy smiled and appeared to speak, but I couldn't hear anything. My speakers were on, so I turned up the volume. I could only just barely hear what he was saying. It was hushed. Whisper. I turned the volume up full. It was still only a faint whisper. His lips moved slowly. I pushed my head closer to try and figure out what he said. Then he shouted loudly. A booming and terrifying voice screaming at me like a demonic god. The image had changed. The boy was crying, his eyes bleeding heavily, and white arms tore the skin from his face. The power cut out again. It was the fuses. When I got my power back, everything was normal. My PC booted up normally, and nothing creepy happened. Then I started receiving the emails. They were extremely cryptic and filled with random numbers, much like the image board post. I got an email that was in regular English, too. It said this, just pass it on. Just fucking pass it on. I didn't know what it meant. I got up to get a drink and froze in fear. From my ceiling hung a man, his body swinging gently. On my wall, written in dry blood, were the words, "The king, come down." I blinked, and the sight was gone. For weeks this continued. I went back to the image board. I was sure I was going out of my mind, just about ready to commit myself to a fucking asylum. I read the post in coherent English that said something like, "Pass on the king, pass on the king." The thread fell forward before I could even get to it. I went to make a new thread, and when I began typing, the words in my mind, or downward, appeared in the box. My fingers typed the words by their own vibration. It typed two things: HGHSUTHS and 4918484. The king, come down. And somehow I realized I was passing it on. The crazy hallucinations stopped. I learned how to be safe. I'm sorry. HAKKSITMS 44919 174. The king.